counts.
Outside the penalty area. It's cleared away.
Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me reach it? Every click counts.
Mbappe whipped away by Arsenal. Now Saka. Now the interest is how much.
Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me reach it? Every click counts.
He was cooked last week. There's no harm in saying that Saka had the best. He's completely gone.
Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me reach it? Every click counts.
To VAR, if that was the case. But Alaba's been booked. First booking of the
Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me reach it? Every click counts. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me reach it? Every click counts. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me reach it? Every click counts.
Lost last night on the night to Aston Villa, but were able to win on.
Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me? Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me reach it? Every click counts.
Yeah, good luck with that. That's definitely one to watch.
Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me reach it? Every click counts.
Wing the ball back, he doesn't. It's there by Lewis Skelly. Gets the ball to Saka.
Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams. My goal is 1,000 subscribers. Can you help me reach it? Every click counts.
Or was it Timber? It was Timber. Timber and Erdegaard doing a number of Vinicius Junior.
Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe now for more live streams.
Penalty box opened up for Saka. His shot ballooned wide. It stayed 0-0. And Saka, since he's come back, he's kind of unlocked his right foot a little bit more, going on the outside rather than cut it in, which is causing defence a bit of problem. Here's Mbappe though, all the way to the byline already. Swings the ball in. It's cleared away by Martinelli, who's doing defensive duty. There is a Premier League game going on at the moment. Newcastle United have the opportunity to head into the top 3 of the Premier League. They'll actually be 4 points behind tonight. They're up against Crystal Palace, to be 4 points behind Arsenal if they were to win tonight, and they're doing just that. They lead by 2-0. Jason Tindall taking charge of Newcastle due to Eddie Howe being in hospital. Prognosis of Pamilia wishing well here on Flash Score. It's with Rodrigo though for Real Madrid, approaching the penalty box, swings this in, and it bounced away from Saliba. There's going to be goals in this one, famous last words, but both sides attacking down the wings and putting direct balls in as soon as they can. The pressure, of course, on Madrid. They are trading by 3 goals in the tie. It's now with Martinelli for Arsenal over the halfway line. He goes towards the left side. He tucks that deep to Rice. Rice now to Partey. Partey now. And towards the right side it goes, looking towards Bukayo Saka. Saka on his left foot. And Alba's gone down to ground. Saka goes down low and is pushed away by Courtois. And that is a move that Real Madrid cannot allow to happen. They can't keep awarding that room to Saka because he will find his touch. So thrown out towards Martinelli. That'll be a on the far side. So Rice to swing this corner in. Down this near side. Vivo and Saliba are in the penalty area here. It's going to be right-footed. It's put into right towards the mix and it's gathered superbly by Courtois. Courtois rolling the ball out. The ball to Rodrigo. Rodrigo now on the left side to Valverde. Valverde now to Rodrigo. Angles the ball in towards Vinicius Jr. Valverde into Mbappe. And now to Rudiger. Move the ball to the left side to Vinicius Jr. Vinicius Jr. now up against Saka. Saka's come back to use the defensive duty. Vinicius Jr.'s got 2-3 behind him. So his Partey keeps hold of the ball. Vinicius Jr. gives it back to Rodrigo. What's the counter shot? Here's Bellingham. It's a cut out by Rice. Really good work. Now Arsenal can break. The black shirts thundering forward. Rice skipping past and Valverde giving the ball on the right side out to Saka. He's seen so much joy in these opening minutes in this game. Arsenal the 3-goal advantage in the tie. Alaba's got to be careful. He's been booked early on. The ball's been spanned to Ødegaard, trying to feed this to Saka. Excellent challenge there by the Real Madrid defence. Really good work. In fact, it was Tchouaméni that came to clear the ball, but Arsenal, the referee decided to stop play here, and it's a potential penalty, but to who? Oh, potential penalty to Arsenal. There seems to be an action there due to Saliba from the corner. We did not see how far where it would come. This would for sure kill the tie if Arsenal were to take the lead this early via the penalty spot. But the referee has awarded a penalty to Arsenal, and it was Asensio on Saliba for a foul from the corner. I mean, we've had a lot of play since then. And since that moment, so it was a bit of a surprise when the referee paused the game, and it was Asensio just blocking Marino. I mean, the ball doesn't go towards Marino, so that's where it's kind of angled from. It's a bit of a surprise. Maybe the goalkeeper's cut it. So there's where the frustration should be. But a penalty's been awarded to Arsenal here, and what an opportunity this is for Arsenal to take the lead. To take the lead in this game. Raul Asensio has been booked for holding in the penalty area, and Arsenal have the opportunity to increase their advantage over Madrid in the tie, but on the night take the lead here. And many would have believed coming into this game for Arsenal, the perfect scenario for them would be to score first, because then Real Madrid need 4 just to take us to extra time. From a neutral point of view, this is probably not what you want, because you want the tie to go on a bit longer. But it's Saka up against Courtois here. Bukayo Saka in the all black of Arsenal here to give Arsenal the advantage. Up against Courtois. Saka. Courtois just diving from side to side. Takes a few steps back. Saka. It's going to be left-footed, of course. Referee's blown his whistle. So Saka up against Courtois. This to give Arsenal the lead. Out to Santiago Bernabeu. Saka. And it's missed it. Oh, he's missed it. Courtois. Saving it. How important. How costly could that be? Arsenal still have the advantage. Did he save? He tried to chip it, and he was saved by Courtois. Really good work. And he's kept Real Madrid in this competition for sure. It just sort of hung in time. So Rice will take this corner. from the near side. I'm sure there'll be no grappling from the Real Madrid defenders on this occasion. It's swung in and it's headed away by Real Madrid. But drama inside the first 15 minutes. I'm not sure that many storytellers would have thought that. You're confident, you're backing, Saka to score. But Real Madrid giving a big boost there. The scenes of Courtois saving it. It's a massive moment. Tried to chip it with his left foot. Now, if Real Madrid score here now, the pressure would really be on Arsenal. This is why we love the Champions League. Madrid 0, Arsenal 0 is the score. And it's also Inter 0, Bayern 0 in the other quarter-final. So Madrid, due to their best player last week, who was Courtois. So now with Vázquez. Into Rudiger. Onto Asensio. And Newcastle have bagged themselves a third into the middle against Crystal Palace in the Premier League. That was a 7:30 kickoff. So it's approaching half-time at St James's Park. They are heading into the top three of the Premier League. They're going to leapfrog Nottingham Forest and get into third. A draw was enough for them to do that because of their goal difference, but they're winning. They're now down now with Bellingham. Now on the left side. Swung in, cleared away by Saliba. Now a bit of room by Vinicius Jr. Ball spurts out. Here's Ødegaard. Under pressure, he runs away with the ball. What an opening that was for Arsenal. The actual penalty came out of nowhere. Stunned everyone. Stunned everyone here. 44% possession for Real Madrid, 56% for Arsenal. It's now down left side to Vinicius Jr. That's going to be a corner kick to Real Madrid down the far side. Timber giving it away. Credit to him, he's stuck with Vinicius Jr. Real Madrid haven't scored in this tie as we enter the 17th minute here. Ball scooped into the far post, punched away by De Gea. Now with Vázquez, he goes for goal, it's blocked. May get the ball back, he goes for goal, blocked again by Partey. Mbappe picks it up, it'll be a throwing down the near side. Just feel like penalty save has given that boost. It's whipped in there, headed away. Goes towards the left side now to Bennett. There's the opportunity for Arsenal to put the game to bed. It's not been taken. There's Mbappe. Who strikes first is so important in this game, in this tie. The drama has already been set from last week, set up superbly. You've seen that through Saka's miss, but Real Madrid still looking for that goal. Mbappe going long, looking towards Rodrigo, but it still was behind the Brazilian from the Frenchman's ball. Still 0-0 between Inter and Bayern on the night. Inter winning by 2-1. And it's like Saka was doing a Panenka, which is of course a chip penalty, but he's pushed it to the side, the right of Courtois. So to the naked eye, it looks like he's missed it completely because he's kind of slipped. But Courtois on the replay has put his left hand and he's cleared it away superbly away from danger, hasn't parried it straight. It's a really good save from the Madrid number one, who's been excellent this season. When Madrid have struggled, he's turned up, he's stepped up, saved 2 pens in the shootout against Atleti to get Madrid into this round, into the quarterfinals for the European champions, 15 times champions. And they had to rely on him again. Well, Arsenal could equal their longest winning run away from home in the Champions League. 4 from their last 3, indeed. The only previous time has done 4 in a row is the 4th game, which is a victory, funny enough, against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. 1-0 against them in 2006. The banter between the two sides has been brilliant throughout on social media. Arsenal today saying it's match day and tweeting and quote tweeting, or whatever you want to call it, the 2006 game like it was Thierry Henry, and then Real Madrid have been sending messages across social media saying, 90 minutes at the Bernabeu, you name it. Really, really good build up to this game. It's intriguing, isn't it? 3-0, seeing the European champions in this position, 20 minutes gone. Arsenal would have taken that though, 20 in, haven't conceded an early goal. They still have all the cards close to their chests. It's them that will take on PSG in a fortnight's time to take on Paris Saint-Germain in the semi-final. As it stands, nothing has changed. However, that missed penalty just makes it feel a bit... But for the neutrals out there, just spices things up a little bit. It's whipped up towards Kylian Mbappe. Strong header from Saliba. It's picked up by Bellingham of Real Madrid. Bellingham now darting down the left side. He's up against Timber. Low ball in. Really good work from Bellingham. Can't get anybody in the middle to tap home. It was Rodrigo. That was there. That's cleared away. That's better though from Bellingham. Skelly with this throw-in for Arsenal, and Newcastle is still playing in that first half. Got 4 goals. They beat Manchester United by 4-1. Here's Mbappe in the penalty area though. He's broken through from Saliba. Mbappe trying to go around his fellow Frenchman, but Mbappe standing strong, and that will be a goal kick. Excellent defender. 2 of the world's best in their position. Saliba will be the best centre-back in the world. I'm sure Liverpool fans listening will be moaning about Van Dijk, but it's not about Liverpool tonight. It's about Arsenal and Real Madrid, and Saliba is one of the best centre-backs, and Mbappe, of course, on song, is the best player in the world. He just had an encounter there, and it's moved the ball away. It's now with Saliba. It's poked forward now towards Martinelli. Martinelli gives the ball away. He needs a goal this game, I have to say. He needs a goal to give her something to really get cooking. It's with Erdegaard, and it's won by Vinicius Junior. Up against Timber. It's a really good battle between him and Timber. Vinicius Junior pushed in the middle by Partey. Referees waved that away, which is interesting considering the penalty that was given. Not like Partey was under pressure. There's a bit more contact in that foul. There's a Real Madrid player that's gone down. So it's 4-0 half time now for Newcastle against Crystal Palace in the Premier League. Just seeing there Partey, and he doesn't get the ball. He just barges the guy there, just barges the Brazilian down. Pressure though building nearly halfway through the first half here in the Bernabeu, and it's goalless. Of course, now eagle-eyed from the referee because the decision's been made, because they gave away that penalty the way they gave it away. Now from these set pieces situations, you're looking at them, and on this occasion it was Rudiger who pushed down Partey. Anyway, Real Madrid to swing this one in. Now Real Madrid player has been dropped to the ground. Referee saying no time's going to be wasted. It's going to be Alves going to swing this in. Well, Asensio feels aggrieved. He's the man that found Marino. And Real Madrid Arsenal have been more. Ball's been whipped in. It's been floated. It's with Rodrigo. Now back with Vasquez. He comes up. Good header. Oh, Mbappe goes to the ground. Referee points to the spot. And Real Madrid have a penalty. And now there's a yellow card. And Declan Rice is pleading his case. Oh, well, we knew there was going to be drama tonight in some way. Rice is pushing Bellingham. It's all kicking off now between the two English teammates. Rice is furious with Jude Bellingham. Referee, we need to see a replay. Ball's whipped in from Vasquez, 25 yards out. Rice said he's not touching Mbappe. Mbappe just drops to the ground. I mean, this could be overturned. And a night like this, his hands are on Mbappe though. Does he let go though? Doesn't let go. Mbappe just drops to the ground. I don't know if you can overturn this one at the moment. They're definitely going to review this, that's for sure. Rice has been booked. I can see why he's aggrieved. It's a shame in a night like this, you want the football to be the talking point. You always fear in these nights that the referees can take centre stage. There is a penalty check at the moment. I have to say it would be harsh, but then the first penalty, the one that Arsenal got, was quite cheap, but there was more to that. But then the ball didn't reach that area, so it's kind of like Courtois gathered it. But here, Vasquez has fired the ball to the end. But the question is, if Rice lets Mbappe go, can Kylian Mbappe get there? And there's where the judgment will be. The judgment will be, can they prove, or can there be enough evidence that it was a dive? For me, it looks like it's to be harsh. If this was to be given to Real Madrid, it'd be harsh. But then, as I just mentioned, the first penalty is harsh. I don't know if the referee looking to make it 1-1. Crucially, for Real Madrid, it's 0-0 on the night. Worryingly, for Arsenal, it's 0-0 on the night. Vasquez, we're getting a replay here, fires the ball, it really good, flicked on by Asensio. Well, he does pull him back, Rice, you know. From that angle we've just seen, he just put him back, and he releases him while he's going to the ground. A long VAR wait. We never see these type of long VAR waits in the Champions League. It's that type of night. The margins are so high here. So we are waiting for a VAR check. We are waiting a very, very, very long VAR check here. Seems very soft, but Rice's arm is around him. And I think that last angle, for me, does change it a little bit more from being very cheap, but I can see why that's given. Because he's flicked by Asensio, and Mbappe's, we all know how quick Mbappe is. Rice is holding on to him, but this is just going on and on. I think this is something that we all, as football fans and listeners, we don't like. I'm out here trying to describe the same incident time and time again. We just want a decision. Is it a penalty or not? So we can get on with the football. It's 26 minutes on the clock. We want to know what the situation is. And I have to say, in Europe, you rarely see this. In the Premier League, we're used to these long, long reviews. In the Champions League, we're not. If they check it, they might be checking if he was offside. That might be it as well. All these checks are going to be done. We've just seen a kind of a freeze frame, but they've got semi-automated offside, so that should have been the first check here. We're still waiting to find out if this is going to be a penalty. Rice has been booked as it stands. I don't know if that will be overturned. I think you can't change that. But we're going to have a lot of added time here. Courtois on the other end, he's done his business. The eyes now will be with what an opportunity, of course, in the background, if this is awarded to Real Madrid, to put themselves back into this tie. And the referee's now got to check to the monitor, which now would presume would be overturning his decision here. Which, for me, why have they spent so long waiting to make the decision, and now they send the referee to have a look? He's obviously not going to go back on himself. He's obviously been told. So we just have to wait for the decision. Referee's now been told it's not clear. This is a very long delay here. So this is a very much it's a crucial moment in the game. Of course, we don't get the privy of what the VAR team in Switzerland are saying to the referee at the Santiago Bernabeu, the Frenchman here, who is the referee tonight. Well, he's looking now. Is he going to say no penalty? He has overturned his decision, and he's going to overturn Declan Rice's. Right, it's only no penalty because it's offside. That's interesting. Because it was offside, we've just lost 5 minutes of football. He should have known that instantly. So, as you were, 0-0. So, Arsenal had a penalty. Penalty was saved superbly by Courtois. Real Madrid thought they had a penalty, but the referee has overturned his original decision, which is quite interesting. Usually, we know these things, but it's with Rea in goal for Arsenal, bright pink shirt. I suspect that was around about 5 minutes, so plenty of time here. There's Erdegaard now for Arsenal. Over the halfway line he goes. Checks the ball back to Timber. Getting back to his goalkeeper. There's been 5 attempts from Real Madrid compared to Arsenal's 3. It's a flamboyant game here, with goals just in the air, but it's just ready to burst open. Here's Timber down the left, over the halfway line. It's Rice who lets the ball trickle towards Courtois. And I think from a Real Madrid point of view, if you're Carlo Ancelotti, just play your football at home, because you have gone into your spaces, you have been able to put Arsenal in positions they don't like. And from an Arsenal perspective, just stick to the plan. You don't need to be aggressive, you don't need to get yourself in those scenarios and give the ball to Saka, because Alaba is in trouble. You want to give your main man a bit more confidence after missing that penalty. It's Real Madrid 0, Arsenal no goals at San Siro between Inter and Bayern at half-time in the Premier League, this end of the season in the Premier League, in Europe, in the Europa League and the Conference League. Commentaries tomorrow, of course, with Tottenham travelling to Frankfurt in the Europa League. You can listen to audio commentary of that game if you listen to Manchester United against Lyon also, and Chelsea's game against Legia Warsaw can be listened to in the Conference League as the ball skittled out of play there from Valverde. Just when you have a delay like that, it does take the stuffing out of everybody in the stadium, the managers, the players, the commentators, the listeners, everybody. So they feel like we're restarting again. That Valverde ball, really, really late. I can't believe it took 5 minutes for that decision, because it was either say it is or isn't, and because there was that hold with Rice, so you can't argue so much. But at the same time, you can understand what's been overturned. But it's been overturned due to offside, not the incident. Real Madrid down the left side through Alaba, steams out towards Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior looking towards Mbappe. Mbappe will go for goal over the bar. How close was that from Kylian Mbappe? Had all the space in the world, put on his right foot, arched it round. Goalkeeper Rea was diving into the air, nowhere near the ball, whistled wide in the end. But another warning for Arsenal. These are players that can turn a game in a second, and you want to get them warmed up. But in the end, that shot did balloon over by a fair few yards, and it was never troubling Arsenal at all. Declan Wright's yellow card was cancelled also. Something that you don't normally see in the Champions League. They're very defined with their original decisions and not overturning things. Here's Saka though for Arsenal, down the right side, wants the ball on his left, gives it to Ødegaard. Ødegaard trying to fight it back to Saka. It's nice pretty football from Arsenal on that right side of the penalty area, trying to keep the give and go again.
El efecto de venirse arriba del paradón de la parada de Courtois se ha neutralizado un poco con el bajón de la acción del penalti, me da la sensación, y que lo que había ganado el Madrid en
back behind square for Jude Bellingham, an aerial pass from him out of the left hand side for Vinicius. You're with Talk Sport in the Bernabeu tonight. 31 dramatic minutes behind us, dramatic and controversial, but still 0-0. Still the Gunners 3 up on aggregate. Rodrigo coming forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Looked as though he was going to play a reverse ball. He didn't, and Mikel Merino in this false 9 roll back, defending on the edge of his own penalty area, could snaffle it up and win it back. Ødegaard then works a pass through the centre of midfield towards Saka, who's fouled. And Arsenal will be in no hurry to take the resulting free kick.
No, that's the supply line, the Ødegaard-Saka access on that right-hand side. Declan Rice is playing extremely well in a sort of inside left position as well. But out on that wide berth, with a player under the threat of a booking already, Saka's got to be the one to keep taking him on. Little give and goes, little one-on-one scenarios that have really got to cause Madrid a problem tonight.
You're listening to Real Madrid against Arsenal in the Champions League. It's live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has all the vehicles your business needs with the flexibility to rent for minutes or months. Arsenal take the free kick from inside their own half of the centre circle. They're in their change kit of all black tonight. They're kicking from right to left. The ball is played forward, and again they win a free kick in a game that has been punctuated by a little bit of needle and off-the-ball niggle. It's Marino that's gone down holding his right thigh.
Yeah. I think this suits Arsenal, I really do. It's Real Madrid that have lost their composure slightly. Arsenal have played with cool heads so far. The referee's played his part. I think he's been I wouldn't say helpful to Arsenal, but he's certainly not been intimidated by the atmosphere here, Jim.
We've got more live football for you tomorrow. The two English clubs in the Europa League, both in action. Manchester United, Lyon, and Spurs at Eintracht Frankfurt. Both games kick off at 8. The United game is here on TalkSport. And Eintracht Frankfurt Spurs is over on TalkSport too. They're both level after the first legs, of course. This one far from it. Level on the night. 3-0 to Arsenal on aggregate. Now it's Ødegaard that the crowd are on the back of here because he's really delaying taking this free kick. It's adjusted the ball. It's positioned by a fraction. Fires it in now, and a right-footed effort on the turn from Timber goes flying over the bar. And straight out of play for a goal kick. 11 to go to the break. A stack of stoppage time to be added as well. Still 0-0 on a cool and drizzly night here in the Spanish capital. White hot out on that pitch. Raul Asensio plays the ball through the penalty area for Antonio Rudiger, who lost in an FA Cup final to Arsenal back in his Chelsea days. He's won a couple of Champions League winners' medals, one with Chelsea, one here with Real last season. Arsenal bringing it forward with Ødegaard out towards Saka. Saka tried to turn, the Vinicius back defending, and the pair of them ended up on the deck, and the referee has found against Bukayo Saka. And Real take the free kick and take it quickly and go all the way back for Thibaut Courtois. He's got plenty of time to control the ball inside the 6-yard box, and then the tall, giant Belgian that Stuart will tell you plays more than a passing resemblance to Postman Pat, brings the ball through the penalty area, don't deny it, and will then work it out towards Rudiger and back for Raul Asensio.
Well, it's the black and white cat that's next to him by the goalpost is the giveaway there, without a doubt. But I think the way the game's gone so far, Jim, Arsenal will be absolutely delighted. They'll be disappointed they missed the opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net from the penalty spot. But apart from that, I think the game's had a format. It's been pretty open, and Arsenal have caused as many problems.
Yellow card for David Raya for time wasting. That's probably been in the post for the opening, since the opening 5 minutes or so. But he was more than prepared to test the referee's patience and know that he'd pick one up at some stage. It's come now, 10 minutes before half-time. Raya's only conceded 4 goals in his last 6 away games from Barcelona. David Raya, Saka plays the ball inside the penalty area for Ødegaard's run. Arsenal have won another corner, their third of the night, 0-0.
Yeah, as I say, Arsenal have had certainly as much territory and entries into the penalty box as Madrid, which you probably wouldn't have expected at the offset of this game.
Saka will amble over towards the corner quadrant to pick up the ball to take this corner, and the French assistant over on the far touchline is just giving him the hurry up. Not too many Arsenal players in advanced positions, 2 or 3 wide of the far post now. Thomas Partey's in there. In comes the ball in towards the near post, and Courtois came out and got a little bit lucky that the ball ended up in his hands. He got stuck in traffic, he pushed it into the ground. Wouldn't have mattered actually even if it had gone past him, because the referee spotted an infringement. And Real have a free kick which they've taken quickly, and will work forward towards Lucas Vazquez. 37 gone. Real Madrid 0, Arsenal 0, 3-0 on aggregate to Arsenal. With TalkSport, Arsenal within an hour now of their first Champions League semi-final since 2009. Last time that they were in the quarters, they drew on Spanish soil in the first leg against Villarreal, drew 1-1 and then beat them comfortably at home. Another successful quarter-final they've had came en route to the final back in 2006 against Juventus, where they didn't concede in either leg. They've never conceded a goal against Real Madrid in their history. They've got to concede 3 tonight to go out. At least 3. Here's Martinelli. Martinelli making his way forward. And Lucas Vazquez has just got a touch to put that out of play. The assistant referee gave a throw Real's way. Referee's overruled him. And Mars Lewis Skelly will come forward to take it and just nick a yard or two and then wait and procrastinate a little bit more. Arsenal's match management has been quite effective so far. Throw taken back for Kivior. Kivior's ball forward. Martinelli deliberately got out of the way of it, so Vasquez was forced to play it out for another throw.
I'll tell you what, Declan Rice has done really well for his team today. He's got forward and foraged into that inside left position and caused a problem to Real Madrid, but out of possession he's dropped back in alongside Partey, so you're almost getting the best of both worlds from him. You know, you've got that defensive shield but also an attacking threat to carry the ball.
Real clear from their right back position down by the corner flag. Work it forward towards Rodrigo, and he's been fouled. Vasquez taking the free kick. Now picked up inside the centre circle by Chouameni. Down towards Valverde. Valverde forward for Jude Bellingham, who we haven't seen too much of so far. Vasquez trying to turn back inside away from Martinelli, who just clipped his ankles. And it's a free kick on the Real Madrid right. And Marino was only standing 3 yards away from the ball just to stop Real taking it quickly. And he then retreats into the penalty area. Real throw the ball forward a couple of yards. And they've got a chance to swing it in here with Alaba.
This old tile hinge on whether...
As the ball comes in, it's flicked by Declan Rice to relative safety out on the left-hand side, back in from Vinicius, and then headed away by Saliba outside the penalty area. Clever little reverse ball towards Alaba, back for Vinicius. Vinicius trying to get away from Saka, and then Timber, who blocks his cross and puts it out of play for a corner. Sorry, Stu, it'll hinge around what?
It'll hinge on whether Arsenal concede a goal before half-time. They've done brilliantly up to this moment in time. We'll have a few extra minutes leading into the half-time period, I'm sure, a bit of extra time. But if they can keep a clean sheet, I think that dents Real Madrid's confidence massively.
One more shenanigans as the two sides face up to defend and attack a corner. Timber ended up on his backside in the goal. It's a really congested 6-yard box. No space being given to David Raya here. Rudiger is instrumental in that. Raul Asensio's in there as well, trying to block off any run from the goalkeeper. An in-swinging delivery. Raya did well, came out, punched it inside the penalty. In fact, it has gone off the island and out of play for a throw that Valverde wants to take quickly. It's 0-0 with 4 minutes to go to half-time.
Yeah, as I say, Raya done brilliantly there. He had a lot of traffic around him, both friend and foe, but managed to come through that and get a good fist on it.
Not too much in the way of constructive goal-scoring opportunity tonight. So much drama with the 2 penalties that have been awarded. One of which was missed by Saka, saved by Courtois. The other, after a 5-minute inspection, was then rescinded. Here's Bellingham in possession. It would have been a Real Madrid penalty, that one. Lucas Vasquez. Left-footed ball clipped inside the box. Oh, dangerous flick on, which in the end steered it past Rudiger. It was a good defensive header. It looked as though it had set up Rudiger, who made an excellent third-man run inside the penalty area. But in the end, just strong enough, that defensive flick, to get it past him and out of play for another Real Madrid corner. This one coming in from the left-hand side. Oh, it travelled a long way. Marino jumping at the near post, it cleared him. It's then just about kicked away. Back into the fray. Arsenal clear. Counter-attack could be on. Ødegaard's crossfield ball immediately cut out long before it got to Martinelli. And Real recycle it and will come again down the left-hand side. Still goalless. Mbappe just turning on the edge. Verdi. Now a right-footed ball clipped over the top. Half clear towards Vinicius on the left-hand side of the penalty area, and he's won another corner, and they're increasingly regular, these corners that Real are being able to fashion now.
Yeah, not just the corners, the entries into the box, the dribbles in the box, but Arsenal have dealt with rash challenges, and they've got first contact extremely well.
In comes another corner, and that one is headed away by Marino at the near post. Arsenal take the free kick, square for Kivior, long ball forward from him to Martinelli. Martinelli on the corner of the penalty area, trying to thread Declan Rice in. It's easily knocked away by Chouameni. Only as far as Kivior again. Partey, Ødegaard. Martin Ødegaard trying to get into a position where he could let fly, but it's touched just let him down a wee bit heavy. Raul will bring it away. Vinicius trying to take it over on the left-hand touchline. An opportunity for him to drive for Kane infield, trying to ride challenges and commit Gunners players. Timber fouled him. Real again taking the free kick quickly, and Mbappe, his ball in, and that's cleared by back. The overhead kick attempt from Bellingham, and we've seen spectacular overhead on Ødegaard, just playing it in behind Martinelli. And the counter-attack disappeared in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, Madrid are piling more and more men forward and leaving them there. And it's leaving sort of 2-on-2 almost at the back, and there'll be opportunities the longer this game goes on.
Ball put out of play for another throw. Should be taken on the Real left. This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. 0-0 and 3-0 to Arsenal on aggregate. Ball over Luis Skelly, driven back in with real venom from Luis Vázquez, but Arsenal defending mob handily could get it away. Vázquez again, right-footed effort, a little bit of pinball inside the penalty area before Arsenal eventually will clear through Luis Skelly. The play's halted because Real have a player down about 5 yards outside the box. It's he's got his I beg your pardon, it's Lucas Vázquez. It's just
Whiplash injuries, you know what I mean?
49 on the clock, 45 plus 4. Right-footed ball in from Vázquez, and it's well claimed there by Raya as Newcastle, beginning of the second half, go 5-0 up. Alexander Isak has scored the latest there, his 24th of the season. Newcastle 5, Crystal Palace 0. This one is 0-0, 2.5 minutes to go to half-time. Here's Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, as I say, I think if Arsenal can get in the dressing room having not conceded, I think it's a very, very mature performance by them, and I still think they've got the opportunity to go on and at least score one goal as well against Madrid, and what I'm seeing at present.
Saka's found Ødegaard, a party then to Declan Rice. Rice coming onto it, lays it on the post. Players from either side have gone down. It's been so fragmented at times. Of course, that suits Arsenal.
It certainly does, and the referee's played a really big part in Arsenal's progress tonight. You know, the fact that he's not been swayed by the magnitude of this crowd here in any way, shape or form.
Raya taking the free kick, whacking it forward. Marino making a run for it. Rudiger just went shoulder to shoulder with him and allowed the ball to run through towards Thibaut Courtois. Marino's got 4 goals in his 11 games against Real Madrid, including one here in a Copa del Rey win back in his Sociedad days. Real will bring the ball forward here again with Vinicius, with a white sweatband around his right wrist. Worked through the midfield by Chouameni, down towards Raul. Asensio whacks the ball away in frustration as the half-time whistle goes. And Arsenal have got half the job done so far tonight. Still a clean sheet against their name. They could have been out of sight had Saka put his penalty away. Courtois denied him. Then a controversial penalty incident at the other end. A 5-minute VAR inspection overruled the on-field decision. And although the second half last week saw Arsenal score 3 without reply, no sense that Real will be able to score 3 without reply in the second half this week. At the moment, Arsenal 45 minutes away with a great comfort blanket of a 3-goal lead. It's 0-0 on the night.
Jim, thanks very much. I was out there among the Real Madrid fans when Arsenal got their penalty. And I was looking up at the Arsenal fans, expecting them to celebrate it hitting the back of the net. And when the opposite happened and Courtois saved, the Real Madrid fans went absolutely crazy, as you would expect. And they started to believe even more. But I think the first thing we have to mention, aside from the controversy over penalties and a missed penalty, Stuart Pearce, I think pretty much every Arsenal player is doing the job they're asked to do, and they're doing it very well indeed. It's as comfortable a 0-0 away quarter-final second leg as I think I've ever seen. Arsenal don't look like they're going to concede a goal.
No, I totally agree with that statement. They've defended the box brilliantly. They got first contact, and more importantly, they've not been inclined to dangle a leg and draw a penalty, which the strike force of Real Madrid are looking for. And we said before the game, mate, this is a game that if Arsenal can get through, and the manner in which they can get through as well, will raise the esteem of this football club.
Listen, we all love Bukayo Saka, OK? But in this instance, when you're 3-0 up and you've got a chance early on to really quieten the crowd down, make it 4-0, bury the penalty. I think what happened was the fact that he's tried to dink it, he's tried to Panenka it slowed the ball's path towards the goal down and given Courtois that chance to raise his hand and makes what looks like a really good save. He should give the keeper no chance, surely.
Well, listen, every time anyone misses a penalty, we can all be critical of that. The bottom line is, if you're going to dink the goalie, keep it straight down the middle. Rely on the goalkeeper diving. Courtois obliged in that respect. He's gone to ground, but he's gone to ground slowly, and because of the reach he's got, and it wasn't that high, to be fair, and the fact that Saka's played it into one corner was what undone him a little bit. But with the referee's penalty decision up the other end being overruled, it sort of, I don't know, sort of let the penalty miss off the hook slightly, let's say. Yeah,
I'm baffled by the penalties. I don't think the first one, I don't think the Arsenal one's a penalty. I think the contact is minimal. It's kind of contact you get every single game. How many penalties are you going to get? The second one, I didn't think it looked anything like a penalty. And then after 5 minutes, they decide there's an offside, and I thought there was semi-automated. I don't know what's going on anymore, but it all took too long, and it was all a bit soft. But what we can work out is half the Real Madrid back four have been booked. And so we can definitely conclude that the referee is not biased towards the home side in any way, consciously or unconsciously.
No, in regard to what the referee's done tonight, Arsenal will be delighted. It'll be Real Madrid that think they've been hard done by, and this referee's not giving them the rub of the green.
Declan Rice was the hero in the first leg with 2 brilliant free kicks. Who knew he could do that? It's a different Declan Rice performance tonight, but he's still probably man of the match so far this evening, isn't he?
Well, he certainly played well for his team. He's played well in driving forward and creating things going forward and setting things up, but he's also done just as well dropping in alongside Partey on occasion when he has to make a double barrier in front of those 2 centre-halves. I think Saliba's been very good, balls in the box. He's marshalled the back line extremely well.
In our conversations this afternoon on our way to the Bernabeu, we discussed whether goalkeepers get second yellows for time wasting, a first yellow for time wasting, a second yellow for time wasting. David Raya's already got a yellow for time wasting. I think that's an interesting one to watch. We concluded it might have happened, you know, somewhere in the world. There might have been 2 yellows, both for time wasting for a goalkeeper. In a match of this magnitude, could it possibly happen in the second half? Is that something that Arsenal will be concerned about, Raya will be concerned about, something Arteta might be saying to him, listen, take no chances, don't waste any time second half?
Well, what is conceived as time wasting is incredible. You and I have seen it time and time again. The goalkeeper gets booked for time wasting, and then he takes an eternity even longer later in the game, and nothing's said. It's incredible. Have a little bit of consistency there, but if you're Raya yourself, you've got to make sure that you don't give any encouragement to the referee to do anything silly.
Arsenal have done nothing silly so far. You could possibly look at the penalty and say just stick it in the back of the net, but they're on course for a semi-final. There's been no obstacles put in their way so far in terms of Real Madrid scoring a goal. It's goalless, which means Arsenal are 3-0 up on aggregates and heading to a semi-final. This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. What about the other Champions League tie tonight in Italy? Kev Hatchard.
Inter 0, Bayern 0, Inter 2-1 up on aggregate, but playing with fire. Happy to soak up pressure and hit on the counter. Bayern's Michael Olise, the outstanding player. He's twice had shots charged down, while Thomas Müller drew a plunging save from former Bayern keeper Jan Sommer after Müller had produced a sharp turn on the edge of the box. At the other end, Inter's best effort, a fizzing 25-yard drive from Hakan Çalhanoğlu, which whistled just beyond the far post. One thing to keep an eye on, both of Bayern's centre-backs, Eric Dyer and Min-Jae Kim, have picked up first-half bookings. Inter 0, Bayern 0, Inter 2-1 up on aggregate.
So still something dramatic may happen in the second half there, and may happen in the second half here. TalkSport is live in the Bernabeu. In the Premier League, live on TalkSport 2, they're well into the second half, and I think Newcastle might just edge it tonight. They needed a draw to go third. They're definitely going third. They're 5-0 up against Crystal Palace, just past the hour mark. Jacob Murphy with the first, 3-3 for him. Mark Gay, his own goal, not his first of the season. Harvey Barnes in the second minute of added time in the first half. Fabian Schär in the 8th minute of added time in the first half. 4-0 at the break, and Alexander Isak has added another. Newcastle 5, Crystal Palace 0. Live exclusive commentary of that over on TalkSport 2. But here on TalkSport, Arsenal are getting the job done live in Madrid.
Kick off on TalkSport with Ladbrokes. Supercharge your odds with our odds boost.
Rice le pone las...
Twitch today.
Gap. Partner of the PD.
Pelé para el fútbol. Es nuestro Pelé blanco, Pelé blanco, qué buen color. Nada mejor que estar oyendo un programa cercano, que te acerca a la noticia, no te sientes extraño, y eso lo consigue muy bien aquí el maestro. Ortega, qué buen color, qué Ortega, Dios.
De la amistad de Sirena.
De lunes a viernes no te pierdas el programa de Ortega de 11 de la mañana a 1 de la tarde con Vicente Ortega y su equipo en Radio Marca.
Loe.org.
Eight, 3-2 on target. Just Inter, you remember 2-1 up in the first leg last week. Davide Fratesi coming off the bench to cancel out Thomas Muller's equaliser after Lautaro Martinez had given his side the lead in the first half. And look at the bench. Fratesi is there. For Bayern, they have outfield-wise, they've Serge Gnabry, Kingsley Coman, João Palhinha, Rafael Guerreiro, Gnabry and Guerreiro.
On TalkSport 2, Jim Proudfoot will be on duty for TalkSport 2. On that one, you're listening to the Champions League live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has all the vehicles your business needs. Here at the Bernabeu Stadium, it's goalless, and that's all good as far as Arsenal are concerned. Stuart Pearce, one minor little criticism. When they do get the ball, Martin Odegaard has been a bit sloppy in possession. Martinelli went through and just kind of chested it out of play, and perhaps they could do a little bit better when they do get possession going forward, Arsenal.
Yeah, potentially. As I say, there's been a couple with Odegaard where I think it looked as though he's trying to get his finish away, where he's actually trying to feed Saka in behind the back line on a couple of occasions that have just been cut out. But if they get that right, on what I've seen so far in this game, I think Arsenal will win this game in the second half. As in, not 3-0, I think they'll win this 1 or 2-0. The way things are going.
Well, Real Madrid are waiting to come out. Arsenal haven't appeared at the bottom of the steps in the bowels of the Bernabeu Stadium as of yet. But we all thought that it would be tricky for Arsenal. We wondered if they would concede, and they haven't so far. Half the job is done, if you like. 45 minutes has gone, and it's still 3-0 on aggregate to Arsenal. And I think the other thing to say about that is a reminder of what I said before the game, that it's not early goals that Real Madrid have been specialising in, it's late goals in these Champions League comebacks as the Real Madrid side take to the pitch for the second half. We are still waiting for the Gunners. As far as I'm concerned, it's from Madrid to Middlesbrough. For me, there's a contrast. Good Friday around the grounds in the EFL on TalkSport from 1. Comes from a game affecting top and bottom of the Championship, playoff chasing Middlesbrough against bottom of the table Plymouth, who've still got a chance, big chance of survival. Live on TalkSport 2 at 12:30 Good Friday, it's Derby against Luton Town. A massive game. 2 of the bottom 4 And the way it's all worked out with the so few games left, Luton really cannot afford to lose that one, or they'll be staring down the barrel of back-to-back relegations from the Premier League to League One. Real Madrid staring down the barrel of a Champions League exit before the Final Four. Arsenal come out onto the pitch. Are they going to be making it to the semi-finals of the Champions League? They're almost there. They can see it from here, the Gunners. Let's get the job done. Here's your second half, live on TalkSport from the Bernabeu with Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot.
And the first thing to point out is that there are no changes made by either Mikel Arteta or Carlo Ancelotti at this stage. So Real lining up with Courtois in goal, Lucas Vazquez, Asensio, Rudiger and Alaba, Valverde, Tchouaméni and Bellingham, Rodrigo, Mbappe and Vinicius. Arsenal, Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Kivior, Luis Skelly, Erdegaard, Partey and Rice, Saka, Marino and Martinelli. The referee, who's been in the spotlight, Francois Letechier, gets us underway. Real in all white, and they're kicking from right to left, as they love to do in the second half here at the Bernabeu. At the end of the ground where they had that dramatic, extraordinary late fight back against Manchester City in the semi-finals 3 years ago. They scored 3 goals in about 6 minutes worth of playing time on that occasion. 45 minutes to score 3 goals here, but there have been very few signs of even the first so far, without wishing to tempt fate. First free kick of the second half, and there were 19 in the first, has gone Arsenal's way. Taken forward by Raya, sails over the head of Rice. It's mopped up and played back for Thibaut Courtois, who kicks it away. Left-footed, long, extravagant clearance from him that Mbappe is battling and has won the free kick from Saliba. The free kick the Real have again taken quickly. Valverde out towards the right-hand side. Rodrigo, Lucas Vazquez outside him. Feathers the ball further forward down the right-hand touchline. Vinicius joining in over on that right-hand side. Ball inside the box, Tchouaméni going up for it. Just a little bit too high for him. Arsenal will be able to push back out of the penalty area, although they haven't got the ball back. Real forced back towards halfway. Rudiger laying it back for Raul Asensio. And back for Rudiger once more. This game brought to you in partnership with TNT Sports, the home of European football. And there's been a goal. Deadlock broken in Milan. Here's Kevin Hatchard.
Inter nil, Bayern 1. Bayern have levelled the tie. Harry Kane with a low right-footed drive into the far corner. We're all square, 2-2 on aggregate.
35th goal of the season for Kane. 1-0 Bayern on the night, 2-2 on aggregate there. There's an Inter side that are unbeaten at home in 20, but trailing. Right-footed shot from the edge of the penalty area from Rodrigo is deflected away. The first corner of the second half is Real Madrid's. Here's Stuart Pearce on TalkSport.
Yeah, good switch of play there by Madrid, but every time that they've had an opportunity or a semi-sight of goal, it's been a good block, or the cross that's come in has been met firmly by an Arsenal player. And Saliba is certainly majority of the time that person.
Apart from Lucas Vazquez and Courtois, everybody is within 15 yards of the Arsenal goal as the corner comes in. Gunner's able to sweep it away. Goes back out towards Vazquez from Valverde, and then he chips the ball back to the Uruguayan, who will take it down neatly on his right foot and side foot the ball forward again, back out towards Vazquez.
Just looking at Real Madrid there, from the corner, they just literally left 7 or 8 players up in the front line. If they lose possession of the ball loosely, they're in big trouble for a counter-attack.
Bellingham will play the ball forward out towards the Real Madrid right. But here's Kylian Mbappe coming forward, trying to inject a little bit of tempo into this Real Madrid attack. Good movement outside him from Vazquez. Mbappe on the corner of the penalty area. Just side foots the ball back out towards the right-hand side, then gets a return ball from Vazquez, who's now offside, but Mbappe's got it, trying to drive it in, and it's deflected back into him, and out of play for a goal kick. Well, Mbappe, with a real piece of kidology, looked at the assistant referee and was very frustrated the decision had gone against him. It was the clearest decision you could wish to see, unless he's claiming potentially it was a handball by Partey as the ball came in, but that would have been harsh in the extreme, although what we've seen so far tonight, all bets are off. Incidentally, UEFA have issued a statement talking about the non-award of the Real penalty. We talked in commentary about the fact that when they made the decision not to give the penalty, they put a graphic up that said offside. That apparently was a mistake. So it was a non-foul by Declan Rice is why the decision was overturned, as opposed to there being any hint of offside, which kind of makes a little bit more sense. Real will bring the ball forward with Valverde. Remember, this stage of the first leg, it was still 0-0. Arsenal know that the job is not done yet, but those Gunners songs emanating from high away to our right-hand side are being sung with even more conviction with every passing minute. Courtois got it back inside his penalty area with 5 into the second half at 0-0.
Yeah, I hope I'm wrong, Jim, but at the moment what I'm seeing with my eyes is a Real Madrid side that have lost a little bit of confidence in the ability, basically, to break Arsenal down and get this first goal. And until they get this first goal, they're not going to bring the crowd to the party again, and they're not going to go on and turn this deficit round.
Well, they still haven't had a shot on target so far. They've got a free kick to defend here, but not in Rice territory. It's level with the right-hand edge of the box and 16, 17 yards away. Real have got a line of 6 in white shirts defending on the edge of the penalty area. Again, Arsenal flooding beyond the far post. And 4 make runs from there into more central areas now as the right-footed ball comes in from Rice, and a flick header from Marino is way off target, well over the bar. Out of play for a goal kick. Still 0-0 on a night that has been high on controversy but very short on goal-mouth action, and it's just the way, in the grand scheme of things, that Arsenal would have wanted it. Ball play forward towards Saka. Partey able to nudge it forward. Bryce trying to turn it around the corner. Ødegaard was there waiting for it. It's knocked away. Vinicius with a little layoff. There was a really poor touch, and then a strong challenge coming in on Rice, and a few afters from him on Bellingham, who just for a moment squared up to him, and the pair of them walked away quickly. And it's going to be an Arsenal throw.
Yeah, well done, Declan Rice there. Bellingham's tried to instigate a reaction from Declan, and to be fair, both England teammates had a little nudge with each other, and Declan was very wise to keep away from it. It would only ever suit Bellingham to get a reaction.
The throw taken on the Arsenal right. Is the referee given a foul throw? I think he has. It's a throw that now that Alaba will take. He's one of 2 Real Madrid players booked in that first half, along with Asensio, both for fouls. Raya booked for Arsenal for time wasting. Alaba's not time wasting here, but he just genuinely doesn't have anything on. He throws the ball now down the line, and it bounces away from Mbappe, and straight out of play for an Arsenal throw, which Timber will take. And it's a pretty unedifying spectacle at the moment, but that, as I say, suits the Gunners down to the ground, because sooner or later at some stage Real Madrid are going to have to come out and really gamble, and that really will play to Arsenal hands. Now Ødegaard's got the ball at his feet, looked offside, and now does the flag come up against him, and Real will want to take the free kick quickly. It's still 0-0.
Yeah, they look off flat at the moment, Madrid, void of a few ideas. I don't say that, and probably the only reason I've said it is it's not my team involved in it. I would have never said, if Warrington were playing, there's no chance of me making a statement like that, but they do look very, very flat.
Well, they played 23 games here this season. They've had results in 6 of them good enough for what they need tonight. As the ball is played forward now down the right-hand side of the box, corner given, not a penalty. Although again, Real were looking for it. Bellingham, actually no complaints at the non-award of the penalties. Vázquez played him in down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Bellingham letting the ball run across him, and Rice was in there strongly. Didn't look too dissimilar to the 2 penalty incidents that we've seen in the first half. The corner has been given. Right foot is swung in towards the near post and headed over the bar by Kylian Mbappe.
Yeah, to be fair, it was a beautiful ball by Lucas Vázquez up the wing that just cut inside Bellingham and made a wonderful run. And Declan Rice had to be foot perfect with his challenge, and fortunately for him, he was.
Another goal at the San Siro. Inter against Bayern Munich. Here's TalkSport's Kevin Hadger.
Inter 1, Bayern 1. Lautaro Martinez with the goal to put Inter 3-2 up on aggregate. A left-wing corner from DiMarco. The ball ran loose, and it was lashed into the bottom corner by Lautaro. 1-1.
Cheers, Kev. 21st of the season for Inter's leading scorer. Martinelli in possession for Arsenal, 10 yards outside the penalty area. Laid back for Lewis Skelly. You'd never know he had as few miles on the clock as he has. The way that he's played over these 2 games has been exceptional. Not been fazed by anything. Martinelli's got it again now. The ball is at a standstill. Martinelli trying to commit Luis Vazquez. Now lays the ball back for Rice. Lewis Skelly played in again. He will lay it back towards Kivior. Raya, a long way outside his penalty area, comes out and sweeps up, playing as a third centre-half for a moment. The Olays are out for the Arsenal fans. Timber, edge of the centre circle, down to the right-hand side. Martin Odegaard, who made 11 appearances for Real Madrid at the start of his career, or near the start of his career. Back from him to Partey, to Lewis Skelly, out to Martinelli. Arsenal playing the passes along the D around the edge of the penalty area. He's cutting inside onto his right foot here, Martinelli, but his touch got away from him. Chouameni stopped him getting a shot in. Vazquez tries to drive it forward. Slight miscue from Kivior. 2 against 2 at the back, although Arsenal have got players back covering. They did well. Bellingham still got possession, though, and plays it down towards Vinicius. Edge of the penalty area. Shot comes in. Easily saved by the diving Raya. And it's taken this long, 55 minutes, for Real to have their first shot on target.
Yeah, wonderful challenge by Kivior there. As I say, all of a sudden, Arsenal have turned attack into defence. And the counter-attack looked on till Kivior intervened brilliantly.
Odegaard bringing it forward for Real, down towards Saka. Saka 5 yards in from the right-hand touchline, and he, like Martinelli a couple of moments ago, just literally lets the ball come to a standstill. His legs a blur of movement, and then a little bit of pushing and shoving going on off the ball. Again, Bellingham is the instigator of that. He's shoved Timber to the ground and then offers his hand to the referee to shake, as if to say, no, it's all right, thanks very much, don't have to do anything with that. And the referee has said, play on. Real will be able to bring the ball away. Another goal in the San Siro. Quick turnaround for Inter, Kev.
Inter 2, Bayern 1, and it's the former Bayern defender Benjamin Pavard with a wonderful header from a Çalhanoğlu corner. Inter have turned it around. They lead Bayern 2-1 on the night, 4-2 on aggregate.
So Inter looking good, Arsenal still looking good. Here's Vinicius winning another corner, though, off the retreating Jurriën Timber.
Yeah, I've got to say, both Arsenal fullbacks have dealt with their wide threats pretty well. Even when they've got past them or run across their path, they've not got drawn into rash challenges in any way, shape or form.
Real Madrid taking this latest corner, which was bending towards the near post, keeping Raya honest, and he had to scramble to get there just to help it on its way over the bar and out of play for another corner.
Well, he's curled that. He's curled the corner, and the corner's going inside the near post.
In it comes again from Rodrigo. Clear. It's Vazquez, 30 yards out, right-footed effort. And Partey got his head to it, and that will ricochet out towards the far touchline and go out for another Real Madrid throw. All of these Real restarts now being taken really quickly. They know they've got to take as many seconds of playing time from the game as they possibly can. That throw taken too quickly because it then became a fight ball for Raul Asensio, who got there first, but just clatters it straight out of play. They're going to be making changes. Ceballos, Endrick and Fran Garcia all going to be coming on for Real Madrid in a moment. Arsenal work the ball forward here. Excellent challenge from the retreating Raul Asensio, but it's an Arsenal corner, their first of the second half.
Yeah, the longer Real Madrid are cheering challenges in their own box and not cheering goals, the better it is for Arsenal. And Real Madrid, if they do get free kicks or corners, they throw players forward, they leave the players forward, and I think that's the opportunity Arsenal are going to grab on the counter.
You're listening to Real Madrid against Arsenal in the Champions League, live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car, making a big move or planning a clear out with vans of all shapes and sizes. If you've got a plan, they've got a van. Saka to take this corner. Only 4 inside the penalty area as he swings it in towards the near post and just drops straight into the hands of Thibaut Courtois. Courtois, a man who's played in 3 Champions League finals. Good quick release from him. Ball driven forward, and Mbappe waiting out on the left-hand touchline. They couldn't play him in. Valverde tried. Ødegaard can get it away. Lays it back out to Mikel Merino on the left-hand side of midfield, just for the moment, for Arsenal. Here's Rice. He's been knitting things together very nicely. It's an excellent ball back in field from Merino. Ødegaard's got it now. So nudged through midfield from him. Another opportunity for the Gunners to bring the ball forward, trying to ride the challenges, and Lewis Skelly has gone down and is writhing in pain. It looks as though he was caught by Rudiger. Raul Asensio leant over him and said something, I think, feeling that Lewis Skelly was making the most of it and that there were histrionics, the way that he was writhing around. The play has stopped, and the young Arsenal left-back is down, holding his midriff. Just having a look at a replay, Stuart. There's Rudiger. Oh, he did catch him. He studded him right in the stomach on his follow-through.
Yeah, it was one of those situations where Rudiger claimed that he didn't know what he was doing. But it's a technique we get taught in the early days, you know, in the defensive school.
Rodrigo, Vasquez and Alaba are the players that are coming off here for Real Madrid with an hour gone. Dani Ceballos, Endrick and Fran Garcia are on. Arsenal fans, the dream is very much still alive. It's going to be job done. The European champions are going to be knocked out by the Gunners. Real Madrid 0, Arsenal 1, 4-0 on aggregate. Bukayo Saka, who saw a first-half penalty saved, clips it past Thibaut Courtois. Personal redemption for him. And the champions are going to be out. It's going to be Arsenal who will take on Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League semi-finals, their first since 2009.
Well, let's just touch on the goal for a start. A wonderful through ball, really intelligent run by Saka. And when he got in, I thought he was going to take it beyond Courtois. He didn't do that. He just advanced and he just dinked it over him. Just having a little look at the initial setup play about a potential offside. I don't think so. I think he timed his run brilliantly, Saka. But the movement was fantastic. He just darted off the right-hand side line. And it was Ødegaard's pass. If anyone can find a pass, sorry, it's not. It was Merino's pass. And then Saka just dinked it over the top of the goalie. Wonderful finish.
Yeah, one of the Real players had stayed in. And Saka just walked forward onto it, flicked it past the goalkeeper, and then walked away, hands outstretched as if to say, OK, it's as easy as that. And from here, Real Madrid need 4, and they've only got 24 minutes to get them.
We spoke with Adrian before the game about who could be potential victors in this. I said, ask the question again in 90.
Oh, and it's in for 1-1. And there's the first of the 4 they need. And it's a terrible mistake at the back.
Saliba.
And only 90 seconds after Arsenal had got themselves ahead on the night, Saliba and Raya cross purposes. He just rolled it out of the penalty area. Saliba caught in possession. And Vinicius took a touch onto it and rifles it into the empty net. There's no way that Raya could get back to make his ground in the central area. And all of a sudden, Real Madrid are back in it with the faintest glimmer of hope. It's Vinicius, and it's a terrible goal to give away.
Jim, I made the point a couple of minutes ago that Saliba would give the ball away in the build-up, and there's no need to do that. Certainly when you've just hit the back of the opposition's net, he had no idea where Vinicius was, and credit to Vinicius, he shut him down with a real quick lightning effect, took the ball off him and shoved it in the back of an empty net.
It's his first goal in 6 Champions League ties, his 21st of the season. Man who scored in the final last year. And you would imagine it is just the merest glimmer of a little bit of hope. But the bottom line is that they are back in it, and they need 3 again. They've got 22, 23 minutes to get them. But the crowd might just start believing again.
Yeah, I mean, Arsenal, you know, they missed a penalty. And on the back of that, they've given Madrid a goal. This game could have been finished, done. You know, we pack the mics up and go home now. The bottom line is it's amateurish at the back by Saliba, but the writing was on the wall moments earlier when he gave the ball away in areas you shouldn't be playing around. There's no need for it. I was saying before, Jim, prior to kick-off, we were saying about who could win the Champions League. I said, give us 90 minutes. I tell you what, you might have to reassess Arsenal's chances with this performance over 2 legs.
Oh, Courtois put under pressure by something or nothing pass through his own 6-yard box. Kivior is there to get on the end of Courtois' hasty clearance. The Gunners have, having conceded, just got to stand firm. 1-1 on the night, 4-1 on aggregate. They looked as though they'd lost possession there, but there was a foul, and it's a free kick for a foul on Partey by Vinicius, who's chuntering away to himself. A free kick that'll be taken by the Gunners inside the centre circle. So we're back in the same position that we were 6 minutes ago, apart from the fact another 6 minutes are off the clock. So it's, in the grand scheme of things, not been a bad 6 minutes as far as Arsenal are concerned. Saka on 65, Vinicius on 67. 1-1, still a 3-goal aggregate lead. Arsenal will bring it forward and then win another free kick over on the far touchline as Martinelli is fouled. Valverde it was that was in a little bit too strong. He's got the captain's armband now that Lucas Vazquez has gone off. Still everything pointing Arsenal's way. But as it looked impossible, now it just looks highly improbable with the immediate response that Real Madrid were gifted. Another goal at Inter Milan, we'll give you the details of in a moment after this Arsenal free kick, which is going to be bent in, left-footed inside the penalty area. Valverde can head it away. Comes down towards Saka on the right-hand side of the box, and he will turn one way and then the other and into trouble and out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Real Madrid right-hand side. Let's get news of that latest goal at Inter, which comes from Kevin Hadjar.
Into 2, Bayern 2, Bayern back in it, and far post header from Eric Dyer, his first club goal since September 2022. So it's 2-2 on the night. Inter still a goal up on aggregate.
Kane and Dyer with those goals for Bayern. Martinez and Pavard for Inter as Rice brings the ball forward here, and still Declan Rice goes, and did he have his legs taken away from him by Chouameni? No, he didn't. The referee says play on. Good tackle on Declan Rice. Courtois does the rest, clears and puts it out of play for a throw that'll be taken over on the Arsenal left. But significantly, since the concession of the goal to Vinicius, most of the play has been in the half that Real Madrid are defending. Arsenal have done well to take the sting out of the game and deny Real the opportunity to build up a head of steam. Yeah, they certainly have, and they managed the game particularly well, I've got to say, this evening. Played with a real maturity about their play. Real in possession, but inside their own penalty area. Courtois outside the box for Rudiger. Now Fran Garcia can work it forward. Vinicius is going to be able to take it and flicks it forward towards halfway. Saka's there. Saliba brings it under control, rolls his studs over the ball, and then played forward by Timber. Looking for Marino. Rudiger wins that. And Real can play out from the back with Chouameni again. It's going to be another change on the Real Madrid bench in a moment. Looks as though it's going to be Modric that will come on. Mbappe trying to get the return ball, and he made it from Vinicius, but then couldn't lay it off effectively. Rice has got it, Mbappe's won it back, but has fouled him. And then he takes a tumble to the ground, and Rice dismissively waves him up with a look of disdain and a gesture to match. And it's going to be a free kick to Arsenal.
I've got to say, the one thing with Declan Rice, he cannot...
The Raul Asensio come off by the look of it, and Modric is going to be coming on. Luka Modric on for his 135th Champions League game for Real Madrid, 6-time winner, and it's going to be his 1060th appearance for club and country. It makes you feel tired just thinking about that. He comes on now. So Modric on, Asensio off. They're having to gamble with just a little under 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, just looking at the clash between Declan Rice and Mbappe. Mbappe has just tried to put his leg in there and he's rolled his right ankle and he's getting some treatment on it at the moment, and he looks in a lot of discomfort.
Newcastle have beaten Palace by 5-0. They're up to third in the Premier League tonight, and 5 points inside the top 5 with 6 games to go. The score here: Real Madrid 1, Arsenal 1 on TalkSport. Don't forget, from 10 tonight, Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy will be opening up the sports bar and give you your chance to have your say. 08717 22 33 44 is the number to call for the sports bar. And also, let me take this opportunity to remind you what's coming up tomorrow. Manchester United and Spurs, both in Europa League action, and we've got both games covered for you. They both kick off at 8. United on TalkSport, Spurs over on TalkSport 2. Both level from the first leg in their respective ties. Friday, Championship action. Derby Luton at 12:30. Coventry West Brom at 3. Sheffield United Cardiff at 5:30. Oxford Leeds at 8. So that's all what's coming your way the first half of Easter weekend. Real have brought Brahim Diaz on for Mbappe, who's in no position to continue. 15 minutes plus stoppage time to go, Stuart. It's 1-1 on the night, 4-1 to Arsenal on aggregate.
Yeah, it's sensibility now needed from Arsenal. Keep the ball, move it around, no chances at the back. And it's a game of possession if that's possible.
Here's Luka Modric, bringing the ball forward for Real. Ødegaard following him every step of the way. Ball is played to the left-hand side of the penalty area where Saka has been able to defend, and his clearance hits the nearest Real player and goes straight out of play for a goal kick that Raya will take in front of that block of Real Madrid supporters who are dressed in all white. It's a white rectangle behind that goal that David Raya is defending. He's long since had a yellow card for time wasting. He's in no hurry to restart play here. Arsenal are actually going to make a change, and Saka, the goal scorer, is going to come off. They're doing his best to be oblivious to the high LED number 7, which was being held up only about 10 feet away from him. He's just looking anywhere but. Trossard has come on to replace him. Saka, as he leaves the field, turns and applauds the Arsenal fans who give him plenty of love back. He's had some night. Missed penalty, but a goal here at the Bernabeu. Trossard on for Saka. And we've got, 14 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
Yeah, as I say, I think that he's looking after Saka a little bit there, and to be fair, he scored a wonderful goal that's put his team in front tonight, but they'll be quite happy to wrap him up in cotton wool. There's a lot of tough games coming up between now and the end of the season, and hopefully a big semi-final.
Yep, Arsenal have got Ipswich away next. That's on Easter Day, and then Palace at home. But they can dream about PSG, I think. More than dream. They know it's almost certain to come to reality. 3-goal aggregate lead with 13 minutes to go. If it was a game against any other side, anywhere but here, you'd say that it was job done. But until the final whistle blows, no Arsenal fan will dare believe it. Here's Ødegaard in possession on the right-hand side of the midfield. There's still very little jeopardy from an Arsenal perspective. Real Madrid haven't had them on the ropes at any stage, in any passage of play, really. The one goal that Real had gifted to them, a misunderstanding between Raya and Saliba, who's caught in possession by Vinicius after receiving a pass from the goalkeeper he wasn't expecting. Arsenal bring the ball forward and venture down towards the corner flag and win another throw. Martinelli's come over to the right now that Trossard's come on for Saka. He won that throw. The ball thrown down to him from Timber. Worked in towards Ødegaard. Tiptoeing his way through. Gets to the byline. Right through the 6-yard box and cleared. Partey trying his luck for the edge of the area. That one's blocked. And then Bellingham will clear down by the corner flag to get it towards halfway. But still, Arsenal have really effectively been able to manage this game, making sure that Real are just devoid of opportunity. Bellingham, another touch from him, and again he's level with the edge of his own penalty area as he slams the ball forward out towards Valverde. Valverde playing it back. Chouamani is dropped in at centre half now that Asensio has gone off alongside Rudiger. Ball played down towards the Real goal scorer Vinicius, who's coming forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Black shirt's backing off, and he's tried to buy a free kick from Timber, and the referee's given it. It's 3 yards outside the penalty area.
Yeah, I think he slightly overrun it and probably just dangled his legs and went down. But Timber, it was a poor dive by him, but he's got away with it. But I don't think they can have any complaints with this referee, because there's been a lot of marginals that Real will think they've come on the wrong side of.
Modric standing over this free kick. It is infield from the left-hand side of the penalty area, but not by much, by a little bit more now that Modric has just flicked it surreptitiously a couple of feet to his right. Arsenal have lined up a 3-man wall. Raya still not happy that it's exactly in the right place. It's an angle that certainly favours a right-footed shot. It's laid back from Valverde, and brilliant covering from Martinelli, who sprinted out of the wall, or just from the side of the wall, to block the shot after it was just touched to the right-hand side, and Martinelli came out, blocked it at all costs. Really outstanding defending. Modric has it again. He's on halfway. Played forward towards the left-hand side of the penalty area. Another ball that is swept in that box, chested down and calmly headed back to goalkeeper Raya. And Arsenal going to the final 10 minutes. 1-1.
Yeah, the referee spent 80 minutes not giving Real Madrid a great deal, and I don't think in these last 10 minutes he's going to give charity away to them.
Arsenal bring it out from the back again. Marino just waiting for the ball to be played to his left by Lewis Skelly, who's been more than happy to maraud forward. Ran down a cul-de-sac, but was able to do enough of the three-point turn to be able to keep possession. Arsenal then effectively work it in towards the feet of Martinelli. He's popped it off to his right-hand side for Erdegaard, just wide. That would have sealed it.
It certainly would. As I say, great play there, set up by Lewis Skelly with a driving run into the opposition's half. When it came to Erdegaard, you knew exactly what was going to happen, just pulling it onto his left foot. Just didn't get the curl on the ball to beat Courtois.
Ball going out of play for a goal kick, and as soon as it did, the referee raced over to the near touchline and brandished a yellow card in the direction of somebody in the Real Madrid technical area. I don't think it was Carlo Ancelotti himself, one of his staff, but the yellow card shown to somebody down there. Here's Luka Modric in possession for Real Madrid. There are only 8.5 minutes of normal time to go. 2-2 in the other game between Inter and Bayern Munich. So Inter are heading through, Arsenal heading through pretty comfortably as things stand right now. Bellingham in possession, plays the ball to his right. Modric's ball back in towards the feet of Bellingham on the edge of the penalty area, and Arsenal again just step forward at the right time. Lewis Skelly breaking the line, wins possession back and knocks it away right up the left-hand touchline, where Arsenal will calmly keep possession with Leandro Trossard. Trossard laying it back for Rice. And Real have won it back. Now a little reversing towards the edge of the penalty area, and a right-footed shot is diverted away. No, it didn't take a touch. Real thought they got a corner. Nothing given. It's a goal kick that is awarded. And again, there's a huge inquest. Now Vinicius shakes his head. He's furious. It was Valverde that did well to win it back from Lewis Skelly in the first place. Well, Vinicius getting a right-footed shot, which did hit Salih, but should have been a corner, but a goal kick's been given.
Yeah, it's been a lot of marginal decisions tonight, and I'm sure Real Madrid will be belly aching about this after the game and tomorrow, that have not gone their way in any way, shape or form. But Lewis Skelly, it was on that occasion, just give the ball away loosely. Just got to be careful with that. And Saliba's done exactly the same.
He shanked it over his own shoulder there towards the edge of his own box. And Real, as a result of that, win a corner. There's another very preventable moment from an Arsenal perspective. It was just a hasty, panic-stricken attempt at a clearance from William Saliba. So another corner to be taken on the Real Madrid left. And if they were to score from this, they'd need 2 in 7 minutes plus stoppage time. They might believe they could do that. The corner's been worked short. Modric playing it to Vinicius, cleared, and then Modric gets it again. Another opportunity for Rao to bring it forward. Clipped in past Raya, who withdrew his hand underneath it. Comes back out of Valverde. He's clipped it over the top. That's headed away. Back down towards Vinicius again, who's in an offside position. And it's a free kick to Arsenal.
Yeah, things not going Rao's way at this moment in time. Wrong options. Raya there. Opportunity for him. He thought he was going to come to the near post and claim it. It sailed over his head, leaving the goal gaping, but Lewis Skelly done well with a defensive header.
Vinicius not anticipating the ball will be swept back in his direction, so hadn't got himself back on side. Raya taking the free kick. He can't take liberties, having already received a yellow card for time wasting. Now the ball is played forward and Rudiger has been booked and then is down off the ball. A yellow card is shown to Thomas Partey for his part in the recriminations, and Declan Rice is having a word with him because that means that Partey will be suspended for the first leg of the semi-final. That is a ridiculous yellow card to pick up.
Exactly that, and Declan Rice has told his teammate exactly what you've just told him. A ridiculous thing to do. Why have you got involved? You're out of the next game and you could have got yourself sent off, and that's where you've got to play with a real cool head at this level of football.
So yellow card for Rudiger. That's academic because his suspension, I'm sure, won't mean anything because Real are going out. Partey certainly will.
To be honest with you, you're looking at Rudiger there. He's just gone and headbutted his opponent, you know. He knows exactly what he's doing.
5 minutes to go. Real Madrid 1, Arsenal 1. For 8 days, there will have just been a little element of doubt in some Arsenal fans' minds. What if? What if it all goes wrong? What if it unravels? Now they will be feeling a lot more composed, a lot happier. The weight lifted from their shoulders because they're nearly there. Surely, it can't go wrong from here. Well, even here.
Not only that, Jim, I think what it's done is sowed a vein of confidence both with the supporters and, more importantly, the team going forward into this semi-final.
Vinicius still hoping that he's got something more to say about it. Martinelli has knocked it away from him on the edge of the penalty area. Comes down for the left-back Fran Garcia. Back from him to Modric. Modric will venture forward towards the edge of the Arsenal box. Another left-footed ball in from Fran Garcia, and that's swept away. And Arsenal then will clear their lines and just turn the Real Madrid back line. No thought about retaining possession in Real Madrid territory, but they've got the ball back there for a moment. You've only come to see the Arsenal, seeing the Gunners fans away to our right. I tell you, PSG will be watching this and will have been impressed. Modric. Down for Fran Garcia. Another left-footed ball inside the penalty area. Another excellent defensive header from the retreating Declan Rice. Another chance for Real over on the far touchline. Ball brought down. Valverde on the corner of the box. A little bit of space for Dani Ceballos. That space is very quickly closed down by Marino, who's done an outstanding job off the ball tonight. Another cross comes in, and that's easily cleared. Fran Garcia will have a third chance to deliver. Passes this one forward instead towards Vinicius, and his low skinner in towards the near post is comfortably claimed by David Raya. Arsenal at 2.5 minutes plus stoppage time away. They still have a 3-goal aggregate lead.
Yeah, and they thoroughly deserve that. The level of maturity that this Arsenal team have played with tonight has been there for all to see. Probably the only thing that's blotted their copybook is maybe that missed penalty early on and a couple of giveaways of possession where they should have just cleaned that up a little bit instead of offering Real Madrid a way back into the game. But apart from that, they've been outstanding, I think.
You're listening to Real Madrid against Arsenal in the Champions League. It's live on TalkSport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Rent from the best lineup in the UK. Enterprise has all the vehicles your business needs with the flexibility to rent for minutes or months. Inter very nearly through. Arsenal very nearly through. Inter in the 5th minute of stoppage time with a 1-goal aggregate lead. Arsenal in the 89th minute with a 3-goal aggregate lead. Another long delivery swung forward on the night that Newcastle beaten Palace 5-0 in the Premier League to move up to third. Martinelli looks as though he might have handled that. Play goes on with Bellingham. Bellingham finding Vinicius. Vinicius on the left-hand side of the penalty area wins a corner, and Real are now in territory where everything they hit has to go in to give themselves any chance at all. Corner work short. Swung in by Modric deep towards the back post. Another good defensive header gets it away. Right-hand side of the penalty area, another ball in. Luis Skelly ducks and he can clear. Fran Garcia, Modric. Modric out towards Valverde and straight back for Luka Modric again. Fran Garcia will come forward. Corner of the penalty area. His cross is easily cleared by Marino. Forward towards Rice, who's the furthest advance of the Arsenal players for a moment. Trossard trying a little trick. It didn't come off. He's given possession away. Inside the penalty area, Real Madrid trying to work the angle, and Raya dives down to his left and he's able to make a relatively comfortable save. Decent strike from Brahim Diaz. Certainly got the direction, but he didn't get the potency, and it's still 1-1 with only seconds of normal time remaining.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what Trossard's trying to do over there on the far touchline. Little pirouette turn. He gives the ball away, and that created the attack for Real Madrid.
Well, Arsenal fans, you know just how much Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy are longing to hear from you tonight. Phone them up and have your say on what's been a fantastic evening. Great performance, great result incoming. 5 minutes of added time. That's all that separates them from a place in the last four. As a shot comes in on the turn, and that might have been closer. It was Vinicius, and it fell to the left-hand side of the penalty area. Vinicius with a cross, in fact, just standing it up. And a left-footed effort just went past the top left-hand corner. Endrick losing his balance as he fired it in. And had that gone in, might just have been the odd nerve. As it is, the Arsenal songs of celebration are long well established.
Yeah, as I say, not much has gone Real Madrid's way this evening. The vast majority of that is down to the fact that Arsenal have been so stout in their defensive work.
Here's Rice. Turning elegantly away through the midfield. Arsenal with a chance potentially to win it on the night. Here's Trossard. Ball in from him is blocked by Valverde. He can get it away. Endrick will pick it up on the right-hand side of the midfield. He's got a chance to come forward over halfway, but it's only 3.5 minutes of stoppage time to go, and Real Madrid need 3. It is not going to be happening for them. This is Arsenal's night. Gunners fans, enjoy it. Drink it in. How long you have waited for this. Ball on the right-hand side with Thomas Partey inside the penalty area. He's pulled it back outside the box. Erdegaard working the angle. And it's a decent stop of the second attempt from Thibaut Courtois. 1-1, 3 minutes of stoppage time to go. Inter are through. They will be taking on Barcelona, and Arsenal nearly through. They'll be taking on PSG.
Well, it's a monstrous line-up in the semi-final, no doubt about that. Arsenal will go in buoyed up with confidence. It's two-leg games against Real Madrid. They put them to bed at Arsenal and come here and carried on in the same vein, you know, to get a point and get themselves through.
Some of the Real Madrid fans in front of us beating a retreat now. Arsenal can bring it forward again and thread it through the midfield. And Courtois is backing off, and he's been beaten. And Real Madrid have been beaten. Not only are Arsenal going through, but they've won it on the night. Gabriel Martinelli drawing the goalkeeper, threading it past him into the bottom right-hand corner. What a famous night this is. What a famous tie this is for Arsenal. Is it going to go down as the time which they really re-establish themselves as a European force? They have knocked the 15-time European champions out on their own turf. They've done it with aplomb. Saka and Martinelli through in one-on-ones. Both have put their chances away. Arsenal have put Real Madrid away. Magnificent stuff.
Yeah, it certainly was. Martinelli's played very, very well tonight, I've got to say. That finish, absolutely superb. Slotted the goalkeeper when he got in. And as we said at half-time, if there was any team looking like they were going to win the game, it was going to be Arsenal.
It's a goal that will maintain Arsenal's 100% record on this ground. They'll make a couple of late changes. We're going to see Tierney and Zinchenko come on just for the last knockings of this game. Real Madrid 1, Arsenal 2, 5-1 to Arsenal on aggregate. This is a Real Madrid side that have only been beaten here this season by Barcelona and Valencia and by AC Milan in Europe. It's a Real Madrid side that won't go down as one of the greatest in the club's history, but they are the defending European champions. Arsenal have absolutely blown them away over the two games. Not just that they're going to win, go through, they will have beaten them home and away. They will have been beaten on aggregate by 4 clear goals. Ben White's come on as well. Declan Rice is one of the players that is leaving the field for Arsenal, and he turns and applauds the travelling Arsenal fans who are waving red and white scarves around their head in a moment of sheer ecstasy and delight.
Declan Rice, I've got to say, has been magnificent over these 2 legs. His 2 goals tipped the balance in Arsenal's favour. There's no doubt about that. Wonderful strikes, but tonight I think he's been absolutely magnificent out there, both in defence and in attack.
Well, the 5 minutes are up. Probably about another minute to play because of the substitutions that have been made. And so many empty blue seats are visible now. The Real Madrid supporters are leaving fast. Real Madrid are leaving the Champions League and leaving it fast. An ignominious exit for them. A magnificent night for Arsenal is ended by referee Francois Leterrier. That is a job done, and done in style. 3-0 last week, 2-1 this week for Arsenal, a 5-1 aggregate victory to set up a semi-final against Paris Saint-Germain. The first time they made it through to the last 4 of this competition for 16 years, and there can be no complaints. Could have done it even more comprehensively. They missed a penalty tonight. That's just a footnote on a brilliant evening. Saka and Martinelli with the goals. The 15-time European champions have been dismantled over the 2 legs. Credit and congratulations to Arsenal. A night where they really came of age, and PSG await for them in the semi-finals.
Is this Arsenal's time? Never been European champions. Could it be this season? Well, they're into the final 4, and the fans are way to my right in the 4th and 5th tiers, up in the gods. They've tried to make themselves heard, and they did. Made some big noise during the game. And when Real Madrid realised it's just not going to be their night, you could hear that noise from North London come through, and they're celebrating. And why not? I think when they knew they were going to get Real Madrid in the quarter-finals, there was this big fear. It's Real Madrid. They've got Mbappe. They've got Vinicius Jr. They're European champions. They find a way. Well, they haven't found a way tonight. They haven't found a way over the 2 legs because Arsenal simply were too good for them. And Real Madrid go out, and Arsenal go through to a semi-final with Paris Saint-Germain. And by the way, it's a Paris Saint-Germain side they've already beaten this season. So think it through. This could be Arsenal's time as the Gunners players go over to their fans. They'll need binoculars, but don't need to see them, they can hear them. Those Gunners fans are absolutely jubilant out of their seats. I mean, it's a steep, shallow stand that. Don't lean too far forward, but applaud your heroes who've won both legs and have taken you through to a semi-final in the Champions League. And make no mistake, this wasn't a fluky win, Stuart Pearce, here at the Bernabeu. The jobs were done. It was professional. It wasn't necessarily exciting or spectacular. It didn't need to be. every single Arsenal player did their job, and they've ended up winning the game. Fantastic.
Yeah, exactly right there. I mean, Brendan come and joined us before the game and said he thought in those full-back areas that will be the key. Both of Arsenal's wide players scored goals tonight and scored outstanding goals as well. They defended their box when they had to, Arsenal. But in truth, let's be honest with you, they've scored five goals against Real Madrid. They've won home and away against Real Madrid. And I don't think they were particularly tested a great deal in either of the two games.
There was a lot said between the two legs, but 3-0. I mean, it actually doesn't happen that often. It's rare. That's why we know who's done it in the past. And this Real Madrid side, I don't think have shown this season that they have the quality to do that. They've not blended in Mbappe well enough. They're not even top in La Liga. There's been some dodgy results for them even here at the Bernabeu. After 3-0 in the first leg, I thought that there's surely no way Arsenal, who just don't concede goals, are going to let that slip, and they didn't. But it was about the focus and the concentration, not being affected by the crowd and the noise and all the pre-match noise and all that talk. They've got some young players, none of them were affected by it.
They certainly weren't. Their game management was outstanding. I mean, the referee certainly played his part. I wouldn't say helping Arsenal, that's the wrong words, but he wasn't washed away by the atmosphere in this stadium. You know, he didn't lean towards the home side in any way, shape or form. He gives strong decisions. Real Madrid won't be happy with some of those decisions, but Arsenal themselves were magnificent in their game management. And I've got to touch on Declan Rice. Wow, what a performance over two legs.
Well, we can touch more on Declan Rice in just a few moments' time. Arsenal are through. They've done it. We're live in the Bernabeu on TalkSport. The sports bar is going to open up very shortly. 03717 223344. But let's complete the semi-final picture for you. Find out what happened in the other quarter-final second leg tonight. Kev Hatchard.
Inter 2, Bayern 2, Inter 3, 4-3 on aggregate after a chaotic second half. On 52 minutes, Harry Kane levelled the tie with a drilled right foot finish, but Inter scored from corners on both 58 minutes and 61. Lautaro Martinez smashed in his 150th Inter goal, and former Bayern defender Benjamin Pavard netted a bullet header. Eric Dyer's far post header made it 2-2 on the night on 76 minutes. That meant Bayern needed just one more goal to force extra time, but they couldn't find it in a frantic finish. The end of the road for Kane and company. The Italian champions through 4-3 on aggregate. They'll face Barcelona next.
Kev Hatchard's favourites for it. Inter Milan go marching through to that semi-final with Barcelona. So it's Inter against Barcelona, it's Paris Saint-Germain against Arsenal. And let me remind you that in the Premier League tonight it was easy for Newcastle. They've gone third with a 5-0 win over Crystal Palace that we have for you live on TalkSport 2. Arsenal got the job done here. A late winner in the Bernabeu means they've won 5-1 on aggregate. Time now to pick out man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on TalkSport with